Hello everybody, it's a new year filled with hope and optimism. So let's get started on a positive note with Well That Sucks. Beginning with number 19, didn't order a refurbished. Thanks to you, this product has a second life. We appreciate it. And we appreciate even more so that you paid full price for a new item, but we decided to send you this instead. But we still got to keep that full price. So thanks very much for your understanding. I'd like to believe maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe it actually was a refurbished listing and there was like a fine print that was missed. Mistakes do happen though. Hopefully they would honor like a credit of the difference or another return so that it can be sent to someone else. This happened to me. I don't know if I could be bothered. I'd be like, okay, does the product work? Does it look like it was heavily used? Does it have scratches on? Does it basically look new? All right, whatever. It's fine. I'll just take it. Ugh. He looked so embarrassed. All right, what do we have? Oh, do we need? Oh wait, Salmon. Now I see. I like the synchronized turn. Honestly, a mistake that you could make. It looks a bit like it's like a little bonnet looking thing. Honestly, yeah, better than not wearing a helmet. He's probably like, why is the chin strap like it's pretty uncomfortable, dude. It's kind of like yanking on me. Like, you wear this all the time? This is uncomfortable. I can't even like swallow without it getting in the way. Oh. I'll never make that mistake again. Won what I thought was a VR headset by my company at my company Christmas party the other night. All right, we got an Oculus. It does look like you got a headset, but let me guess, you just got the head strap, elite strap with battery. Why would this be a giveaway at a company party? Like, hey, yeah, we know probably most of you don't own the base device for this, but they are expensive. So we'll just give away the strap. It's like the equivalent of the people who sell the Xbox box or the PlayStation 5 box on eBay, except that you know who these people are. It'd be like your coworker being like, here's the Xbox box, please pay me $400. And then the next day at work, you can be like, can I have my money back? You gave me a box. Drove to an urgent care to have my throat looked at, got to an exam room, and learned they were only doing telehealth visits when they wheeled this in. Wait, you like went in to a physical urgent care location and they were like, here's the computer so you can do a Zoom call with the doctor. I mean, hopefully like the doctor could, I don't know, like instruct maybe a nurse or something to do something for you there in person. But that's some like kind of dystopian stuff right there. I don't know, maybe the only doctor in the area. It's like a small town and they're on a vacation or something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, you go into a physical location, you kind of expect like, I'm gonna see a physical in-person doctor and not be like, I could have gotten on my computer from home. I came here because I'm in excruciating pain because strep throat is gonna make me rip my esophagus out. Please help me do something, please. Thank you. Looks like someone had a panic attack. Maybe it was me. I've actually never had a panic attack in an elevator, as much as I've talked about my fear of an elevator chopping me in half. I don't think, like, once I'm in the elevator, it's okay. Once I'm out of the elevator, it's okay. It's simply crossing the threshold that is always the uneasy part. It could just do something like that. To this day, it hasn't, though. You may be surprised to hear. But, I mean, I can understand if you're, like, claustrophobic, you're afraid of tight spaces, and you were trapped in an elevator for an extended period of time. Either that or they were trying to test their strength. Like, do I have the ability, in an emergency, to push open the elevator doors merely with the friction between the door and my hand? No. Actually, no, they did. It looks like they did try to peel the... How did that work? Like, they went... like that, and then their hands ended up, it's like they went from trying to pull the door apart to they adapted their technique in the middle of the approach. How flexible No more swimming in the nude. Oh, yeah. That kind of happened, like, ish at my old house, in that, like, previously, like, I had a pool, and, you know, if you were in a you know, certain areas at the neighboring houses, you could see to it, but then they turned the lot that was next to me, which was a single house and then landscaping, and they cut it in half and made it like a double lot, and there were 2 houses. And so the part that was landscaping, which was pretty visible from my pool, became a house. And so I think that was actually a reason why an initial buyer ended up backing out. They started like going forward with it, and then their dad came over to check out the house, and I was there when the dad came over, and he was like, "Oh yeah, so what about the house there?" And like looking at the pool, and I was like, "That's why you have the gym, you know." And as nice as he was in responding to that, I don't think he was amused after the fact, and I think that may have been the reason why he told his son not to go forward. He didn't like the pool thing. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, it's just go at night and keep all your lights off or something like that, and hope they don't install floodlights pointing towards your yard like we sometimes see, and mildly infuriating. Same view from my apartment, taken a year apart. Are we about to have the exact same thing happen here? Speaking of mildly infuriating, show me the full image! There's the full image. We're gonna have nice, so I mean, it's like there's still a more distant obstruction, but you do you get the sunset there, which is nice. Here, you're gonna get less of the sunset. This exact same thing happened to my mom. My mom had this like really nice view of mountains in the distance that, you know, sometimes every now and again during the winter there'd be snow on them. Anyway, just a really nice view. Now it's a building. Just like, you know, 5 years later or something like that. I don't remember exactly how long I think it's been about 5 years, 6 years. It's kind of depressing. Yeah, but it's like, you know, if you move into a building that has, you know, parking lots next to it that could be developed, it's kind of like a risk that could happen, but still you hope that it doesn't happen, and then like, what can you do? Oh, it's such a bummer, because like one of the main things that I like in a place is a view, and so that would just be absolutely like crushing. It's Christmas Eve, and I caught Scarlet Fever. I don't think I've ever had that, but that looks unpleasant. Is it itchy? It looks itchy. But not knowing too much about Scarlet Fever, actually, I don't know if it's itchy or if it just looks bad, or you just, you know, you have a bad fever, but also you're like, holy frick, am I gonna be okay? Good Lord. I'm not a doctor. I wouldn't be qualified to do a telehealth conference with you on this, unfortunately, but if you did have to go to urgent care, I do hope you were able to speak with an actual person in, like, there. But eventually, maybe it'll be just, you'll do telehealth, but it'll be with ChatGPT, and they'll be like, our doctor wasn't available in person or on screen today, so ask ChatGPT how you're feeling. Don't worry, insurance took care of $4. A toddler learned to stand on the stove. Parents took him to the ER. After a long wait for a doctor who never showed up, they offered him a telehealth conference. They went home and the burn healed on its own. Then the hospital sent him a bill for $1,000. Did they do anything, or it was just like the fact that they called them back there and they were able to sit instead of being in the lobby? The fact that they got into a waiting room, they were like, yeah, that'll be $1,000. You sat in the chair. So we're gonna have to bill you for that one. Sorry. I had no idea an exam was happening. Finished it in 30 minutes without studying. Goodbye, GPA. That is most unfortunate that you got a 6%. You say you had no idea the exam was happening, but it's the final exam? How did you miss the final exam though? Like, I don't want to blame you. And maybe there was a miscommunication. Maybe the teacher wasn't entirely clear. Maybe it was just like on the syllabus given to you at the very beginning, the first day of class, and then it was never mentioned again. You were just expected to keep track of that. And I can kind of understand, because I would forget something like that, but that's rough. 6.25%. 6.25%. I don't want to dwell on this too much, but I feel like, did you go to the lectures or I mean, you did bet this 100%, 92%, 90%. Huh? Something seems off. Neighbor left their mark on the new road. Ooh. Why? It just kind of looks like skid marks from this side, and then you go on this side and you're like, oh, it doesn't look good. Why do you see the tire tread so clearly in this photo, but in this it's just black marks? Oh God, that's terrible. Oh no. I mean, RIP to their tires and the wheel arches and stuff like that, because they just have like asphalt sprayed and hardened onto the inside there and everything. Ooh, geez. They're like, I really gotta go to the grocery store right now, so sorry about your cones and your road signs and all that. I'm driving through it. Oops, I probably should not have done this. My car is fricked. My stepbrother's neighbor dug a 4-foot hole and hit a sewer line on Christmas Eve. A sewer line? That is not a sewer line. There's no world in which that is a sewer line. It still sucks because that looks like a water main, but that's just like, it's just mud and dirt. There's no way. No. Oh my God, it's like hold on. It is gushing up there. Yeah, no. See, sewer lines, except on certain occasions, it's gushing, they are not pressurized. They're not being pumped. There are certain cases, like my old house, I actually had a sump pump for the sewer, and it went up the street a little bit before gravity took over. But like, that is fairly unusual, and this is a pretty flat looking area. So it looks like a water main, which is not good either, but it's not poo, at least, because, it would be, you'd get a little bit every now and again, but it wouldn't be like just constant, forever going from a pressurized line. Can you imagine? Oh God, a pressurized sewage line. Again, they do exist, but it's not common. So I think you're at least in the clear of having spread poo all over the place. Just still bad though. The future is here and it is stupid. Update not successful. Unfortunately, a recent software update was not successful. Your vehicle cannot be driven. Oh no. Oh, this is a Mustang Mai. It looks like. Oh yeah, you can see K-E down there. This is one area where I'm gonna, I'm a little bit of boomer grandpa in a few areas, but this one specifically, when it comes to cars, it's fine. Like, electric cars are fine and all, and it's whatever. It's cool. It gets you from point A to point B, and it works. But I like for a vehicle to just like turn on, not have a bunch of settings. As long as it can connect to my Bluetooth, that's all that I need. I don't need anything else in my life. Connect to my Bluetooth. Let me have physical buttons for air conditioning and volume. No other settings. And that's it. And I'm happy. I don't care about software updates. Don't need them. All good. Yes, I will deal with doing the oil change and maintenance and all that you don't have to do on an EV, but I'll do that once a year. It'll be fine. I prefer it when it's a little simpler, at least as far as the electronics go. And everyone's like, okay, boomer, shut up. Cool. Nobody cared. I enjoy my iPad screen in my car. And yeah. But the thing is, like, it's everything as far as the drivetrain is probably fine, but it's like some little bug in the software, and you're like, what the frick? That said, there will come a time, maybe 10 years in the future, where there will be no other option than to get an EV, but maybe there will be ones where it's like really simple, because the whole like having the iPad doesn't have to be like, they're mutually exclusive, right? The big iPad and all the electronics and doing everything with a touchscreen doesn't have to exist alongside an EV. You could have an EV with an EV powertrain that is also very simple and tactile buttons and everything inside of the cabin, right? You don't have to combine the two together. It just so happens that it goes that way, and that's how the cars are being made. But I'm sure there will be cars that like go simplified cabin while still being EV powertrain in the future, so I'm sure I'll be perfectly happy with something like that down the road. Great timing, guys. What did he steal? I can't even, was that beer or something? Oh, right next to the cop car. Oopsie daisies. What is that? Is that beer? I can't tell if it's like beer or something like that. I'm gonna be honest. It just doesn't seem like super worth. He's not wearing a face mask. There's literally a sign that says 24-hour surveillance. It's like, you know what? Gonna steal beer. I just feel like the risk reward, it's off on this one. Clearly, it didn't pan out. I like how that was very observant of them. I don't know if I would have even noticed what was going on. I've been like, hey, maybe just really they were double parked in traffic, and he was like, oh, I better go so that we don't get in trouble. Maybe the cop's just pulling over for double parking and not actually stealing. Who knows? Someone's getting fired. When you say fired, like the tank is it gonna fire? I'm concerned that like you mean literally. Oh. How does it just disconnect like in the middle of things? I mean, I can kind of totally understand how you wouldn't, if you're operating the train, you probably just don't think the cars are magically going to disconnect in the middle of your journey. So you're probably mostly focused straight ahead instead of somehow looking in the rear view and hoping you're on a bend where you can see far enough back and make sure the whole thing is there. But also, you'd think they'd have alerts for, I don't know, like something got disconnected when you're carrying tanks. Maybe there'd be some additional security precautions for something like that, but I'm also just a civilian, so I wouldn't know. There goes his 300-pound airbag for cyclists. What the? Wait, what? What in the world? Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like somebody already invented something that handles this problem, which is the possibility of hitting your head when you're riding a bike or anything where you could potentially fall or get a head impact. And I'm having a hard time coming up with the word. I can't remember what that device is that you would strap onto your head, and it would protect you in the event of a fall. A helmet. That's what a helmet. They invented helmets. That's crazy. I forgot all about those. So, that makes sense that you might actually forget. And instead of buying a helmet, you would buy a special, very expensive airbag that straps around your neck and magically deploys in the event of a fall, which could just involve you slipping on a metal grate. And then it deploys. You can just wear this on the way home, though. You'll have the nice airbag protection. Why would you not just wear a helmet? I don't understand. Like, nobody's like, oh, he's so uncool, he's wearing it. I don't understand. Downgraded on an overbooked flight and given a perfect view of people enjoying the lie-flat seats we paid for. Dude, the whole, overbooked flight thing bothers me to no end, because, what other, someone's gonna be able to identify something, but what other industries can you just be like, yeah, you know what? We're actually going to sell more than we are able to, and then if everybody shows up like they said they would, we'll have a problem. Why can you do this in the airline industry? I don't like it. It's just a bad business practice. It's dumb. Why can you sell more than you actually have? If people don't show up, then it is what it is. If they have to cancel, that's you have a cancellation policy, and maybe they have to tweak the cancellation policy a little bit to be more restrictive if they're not going to be able to overbook. But regardless, it's so dumb. Hopefully you got a refund and extra on top of that. But that's real annoying, dude. That's real. It's frustrating. Got my daughter a penguin to track for Christmas. He's dead, and all the kids thought it was hilarious. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to laugh here. Last location, December 11th. I mean, here's the thing. Presumably, he got eaten by an orca or something like that. I've heard orcas are kind of going crazy these days. So maybe that's what happened. And it's the cycle of life. It'd be that way sometimes. And, as long as it wasn't some super nefarious and sad thing, it's just penguins are food for certain creatures out there. And it is the way that it be. So, I mean, it kind of does suck that it, like, Christmas didn't even come to pass. And it was like, oh, well, this has not gone well. But also, it's like, I don't know. It's the cycle of life. Anyway, that's it for the last month of Well, That Sucks. Off to a great start to the new year, hopefully. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.